Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. I have another golf ball review for you today, and I'm really excited about this one. We're doing the Srixon Z-Star Divide for 2024. Let's dive right in. All right, I'm really excited about this one, mainly because I've always loved Srixon golf balls. This was one of the first 5 tests I did on the channel. I did the Z-Star and the Z-Star 15, XV, whatever you want to call it. And I was really impressed because it had a lot of spring to it. It had a lot of bouncy ball effect. You know, an average consumer, 92 mile an hour, could pick it up and just get massive driver numbers, but also have a really good feel and have a lot of confidence with it. However, I am a little concerned because a couple reviews ago, we tested the Q-Star Tour for 2024, and Srixon had made some changes. They had firmed it up a little bit. They gave it some more tour-like feel, and it ended up actually working against the average consumer like we are on this channel. I ended up losing a little bit of distance, and a lot more forgiveness was taken away just because of those changes they made, and I'm hoping that it's not the same here. I'm hoping they kept it with that bouncy feel. I'm hoping they kept it with those, you know, confidence and great driver numbers and all that stuff. We will be testing that out for sure. So let's dive in, of course. Let's start with the price point here. So Srixon is less expensive than a lot of the other ones. They're $49.99 a dozen. You know, honestly, that's not a terrible price for a Tour AAA level golf ball, but it's still, you know, I mean, anytime you're getting into that range, it's really expensive. I have to hold golf balls to a really high standard once they get to that price point because, I mean, I just have to. I have $30 a dozen 3-piece urethane golf balls right now testing, you know, top 5, top 10. So when you're $50 a dozen, I have to hold you to a high standard. So we'll see about that. Now, one thing Srixon does do is twice a year they run their buy 2 get 1 free. So that does kind of help. If you're buying 2 dozen and you're getting 1 free, you end up getting them for a lot less than $50 a pop. So that's a pretty good deal as well. I think Wilson's starting to doing that, and I wish more companies would, because I'll tell you what, that's the time to stock up. All right, let's dive into the design of the golf ball. So this is, of course, the Divide model. They make this in just a regular as well as a Divide. You don't have to get this, but the Divide on the Z-Star is actually half white, half yellow, which is, you know, kind of the 2 most common golf ball colors, as opposed to the really colorful, you know, Q-Star Tours you see there, the McGolf ball and the orange and the blue, and, you know, those are all bright, but the regular Z-Star Divide is just going to be your yellow and white. This really helps with putting. It really helps with chipping. It really helps with practice, and it helps on the course too. So I love this design. I love that they brought it to the Z-Star series. I think it was a great marketing move, to be honest with you. I love Srixon's spin skin technology. It feels really good. It feels like it would stick a green. That's one thing I really like about Srixon. They have some of the best coatings on their golf ball out there, just based on, you know, experimenting, feel, testing. I love that a lot. So overall, it's a really good design. I think it's, like I said, a really great thing that they brought the Divide to this, because I think it opens the market a lot. But yeah, let's get out there to the pitching and chipping green, and let's see how it does around there, hopefully really well. All right, Z-Star Divide with spin skin technology. Now, we just got done doing a couple of 2-piece firmer golf balls, so I really expect this one to actually have some bite. You know, I expect it for the price and the type of ball it is. Okay, not as much spin as I really would have hoped for. Maybe I had it a little bit, maybe I had it a little bit low. Let's try again here. You know, I mean, that was a decent strike, but again, not a lot of spin. I mean, I was really expecting this ball to just bite, and so far, nothing there. I'm gonna try one more time here. Yeah, I mean, that was a clean strike, and I got a lot of rollout out of it. You know, that's just average. Let's try to open it up and hit a cut. All right, let's open the face a little bit. Let's see if we can really generate some spin being this close. Man, I mean, okay, but not great. Not what I was hoping for. Really disappointing. Well, let's try one more time. Okay, really good, really good. And I still rolled off the back of the green. Guys, that is disappointing. I mean, the Z-Star has always been a ball I have loved, and I just can't seem to get any spin. Let me try closing the face and see if I can get any left spin. Nope. Wow, just not a lot of spin. That's really disappointing. I don't do this all the time. I'm going to go ahead and do one more round. I'm going to back up a little and just see if maybe coming back this far will help just a little bit. Wow, just such a firm release. I'm gonna try one more. Instead of doing the cut, I'm gonna try to just, good strike, yep, spin, spin. Wow, no, wow, just, it is what it is, I guess. All right, so starting off with the mallet, the PXG, kind of hybrid mallet putter. This is what I've been using for my, the last couple reviews for the mallet style. Now, I'm really hoping that the Z-Stars can do really well here, because I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed in that chipping effort. So I really want them to do well here. We already know from past experience that the Divide model is great for putting, it's great for chipping, it's great for feedback, it's great for practicing. The question is, is this ball gonna be something you can play on the course and be confident in it? And so let's go ahead and give this a shot here. Beautiful lineup here with the Divide. Oh man. Oh, I wish that had went in. Beautiful roll on the Divide. The sound was great, just a little press firm for feedback. Love that. The ball was rolling true. I could tell I hit it right. It was just a misread. Again, really great there with the Divide. It was just a misread by me again. I mean, I didn't take a lot of time to line these up, but still. Wow, just really, really good. Rolls like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. It's great. It's exactly how I would expect a tour ball to react. What's really great here, though, is the feedback. How it sounds, how it feels. If you hit it a little bit off, it lets you know. It's really a tour level quality comparable to the Pro V1 or the Callaway Chrome Tour or any of these other balls. It's really, really darn good. Okay, redoing it now, of course, with the Blade traditional 20-year-old putter. Seeing if the feel's any different. Oh, you know what? The Divide was kind of wonky. I could tell. I mishit the putt, which is really good. Again, it felt really good. The sound, the feedback's there. It actually feels the same as the mallet putter. There's a little bit difference as far as the deadening feel, but that's the putter. That's not the ball. So it's pretty much the same, which is kind of nice. Really good roll again. I mishit the ball, and again, it missed left. So that's why that feedback is really, really important. Because now I know that on the last club, I was missing because I was misreading it. But on this one, I know I'm missing it because I suck. But it is what it is. Okay, good hit, good hit, good hit. Ah! Ball feels great. It's nice. I like it. I'm glad, too, because after that chipping performance, I really needed something decent here. And for now, it stays alive, but we'll see how those performance numbers are. All right, so let's have a little come to Jesus moment here about the feel of this golf ball. It's awful. I mean, I can't. So here's the thing. You have to understand that I am reviewing this from my 96, 97 mile an hour driver swing speed. I have my, upcoming when I have the numbers, I will have my swing speed with each club as well. That's what I have to base this on. It feels so firm. I mean, I know it's a 92 compression. That is pretty firm for the most part compared to a lot of golf balls we test on this channel. But holy cow, if you do hit it pure, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. You can definitely know, you definitely feel, there's a lot of feedback in this golf ball. We'll get to more of that in a minute in the testing. But it's really disappointing when you mishit it, because when you mishit it, it feels disgusting. It feels like I just lost 80, 90 yards on a 9-iron. I mean, it just feels awful when I mishit it. And it feels bad enough to where when I was mishitting it, a little off the toe, just a little bit off the toe and stuff, it was feeling so bad that I was losing confidence. And I was starting to get really frustrated. And so I talked about at the beginning of the video, the old ones had bouncy ball effect and they were super soft. You could bounce them and boing, 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 and that means when you mishit it, it was the same way. It still got most of that compression. It's just not the case anymore. That boing, boing, boing has turned into, and that's enough to do that, unfortunately. So not a big fan of the feel. Let's hope it doesn't affect the numbers too much, because we're already off to not a great start around the green and not a great start with the feel. So let's see how these numbers are. Let's dive into the 50-yard pitch, first with the RPM backspin. All right, so 7,820, which is really good. And, I would expect that. 8,000 is kind of the pinnacle of what I'm looking for. Anything around or close to that is awesome. And with a tour-level golf ball, I would definitely expect this to do that. But something to keep in mind, I got a little bit more spin with the MaxFly Tour 24, the regular model. So, it's these tour-level golf balls are up there, and I expect them to be. But there's also golf balls like the Legato LTX 3085. I know that's a mouthful. We'll just call it Legato for all intents and purposes. But that one I got 8,400 with. So yes, that's a really good amount, but I would have liked to have seen it got to 8,000 for sure. There was a couple times I breached it, but most of the time I'm around like the 77, 7,800, and it just kind of, it was consistent with its spin, but I would have liked to have seen it just a tad higher. But I'm not going to complain. Those are good numbers. So let's go ahead and dive into the 9-iron now, looking at a smash factor of 1.29, which is kind of average. That's really not that great. I've been testing a lot higher recently. 132.5 on your carry, which is above average, but you know, honestly, it's still pretty disappointing. 132.8, slightly above average, but again, I was hoping for a little more. 102 mile an hour ball speed, which is above average. 6,872, which is hilarious. That's exactly my average to the T, so that's hilarious. And 24.2, it launched a little high actually, so interesting there. Love the spin numbers. The distance, I can't complain about. Again, what's itching my brain is I have to hold this to a higher standard. So I'm like, well, I just got done testing the Wilson Smart Core and I got an extra 8 yards out of it. You know what I mean? And that distance isn't everything, I understand that, but I'm just saying that already $50 a dozen, that's kind of why I'm like, it could have been better. I'm not trying to be super picky, it's just that's why. Let's go ahead and get into the 7-iron now. We're looking at the smash factor of 1.34, which is really low. We'll touch on more of that in here in a second. 154.2, loss of yards, 156.9, loss of yards, 111.4, loss of mile per hour, 5280, not a lot of spin, and it launched really low at 15.1. So let's have a little, if you want, you can move on to the next club if you don't want to hear story time, but there's definitely story time here. So when it came to the 7-iron, I have never had a worse experience testing a golf ball. Once you get to that 7-iron, especially with my set of clubs, the Mizuno 921 Hot Metal, it's kind of this bridge between it's not as heavy anymore, it's not a short iron, it's not just coming down and, you know, creating all this momentum and having this, you know, forgiveness. It's more of you have to really hit it pure. And if you don't hit it pure, you're going to start to feel that. And I got on this run, I ended up hitting 26 shots. I normally hit 15. I hit 26 shots because I just kept a little bit off the, I mean, here's the center of the face right here. If it was here, I was losing 20, 30 yards. I mean, egregious forgiveness. The feel was so disgusting when I mishit it. I was so frustrated. I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I was cursing. I was slamming my club down. I was upset because I talk about it on the channel sometimes. This happens. When you have a soft, forgiving golf ball and you mishit it, it still feels pretty good. When you have a firmer golf ball and you mishit it, it shakes your hands, it rattles you, it rattles your bones, it rattles your muscles, and it gets in your head. And you're like, oh, that was awful. That was awful. It might not have been awful. It might have been just a little off. But when you have this level of forgiveness, you don't know the difference. I was hitting balls just slightly off center, maybe half an inch, you know, I mean, nothing egregious, and was losing so much yards and was rattling my whole body. And I got so frustrated, and it was just getting to the point where it's 100 degrees outside, I'm pouring sweat, I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. And so those numbers, keep in mind, I hit 26 shots, I got it down to 10, and they still lost distance. That's saying something. It's one thing if I do 12 to 13 shots, I get it down to 10 and it loses distance. Okay, well, Nick, maybe you had a bad day. 26 shots and then I eliminated 16 shots. That's disappointing. That's all there is to it. And the hilarious part of all this, not to go on a massive rant here, but the hilarious part, let me read you this from Srixon's website. So the first thing they have on here, the very first thing to advertise this golf ball, fast layered DG core. The trade-off is age-old. Hard cores are fast, soft cores are slow. But the firmer a golf ball, the harsher it feels at impact, which can reduce your confidence when the pressure is on. That's why our new fast layered DG cores are soft at the center and get firmer from the inside out. The contrasting compression helps them rebound quicker off the face for incredible distance while still providing exceptional feel. Now that's hilarious because that's exactly what I'm talking about that this golf ball didn't do. It used to have really good confidence. It used to be really bouncy. It used to have explosive distance. Now it's the complete opposite. And what's hilarious to me is that Srixon has the good sense to know, oh yeah, this is how it goes. This is how golf balls are. The irony is just beneath me. But the point is that I just did not enjoy this at all. So look, I'm not trying to just be a bashing hater. I've loved Srixon, but they really messed up the feel on this. I know they tried something new. I know they experimented, but the whole point I'm trying to make of all these rants is that This is a massive fail on this regard. So I hope the hybrid's better. I hope the driver's better. Those are heavier, they're woods, I swing them faster. Maybe I'll compress it a little better. So let's get into the 5 hybrid and let's see how that is. All right, 1.42 on your smash factor. Okay, so that's a lot better. So now we're on the right track. 178.3, that's average. 182.4, slightly above average. 124.5, excuse me, slightly above average. 4943, a little slightly below average, and it launched pretty darn low, 13.2. It's hard to get it up, but firmer golf balls, tour golf balls are. Those are average, mediocre numbers. Again, I have to hold it to a decently high standard just because of that price point, and I just wouldn't do it. It doesn't justify the cost. Last but not least, we have the driver, which has a 1.43 smash factor, which is below average. 226.1, which is slightly above average. Okay, so distance is good. 232.5, yep, distance is good. 141.3, I did gain about half a mile an hour, so about average. 2344, so it actually had low spin, which is really good, and then it launched mid. So those numbers aren't bad. Those numbers are pretty decent, but again, just not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that wows me. If I'm going to have to get out my wallet and drop a 50 piece on a dozen golf balls, I expect something to wow me, All right, let's talk about the durability real quick before I get into my closing thoughts. It's not bad, but I had to hit a lot more shots with this when I hit over 100. It's torn up pretty bad. There's no way I could putt with this. There just isn't. I mean, if you look at it, there's all these scratches, there's flakes coming up, and this was apparent after 80 shots too. So this is a golf ball that after one round, it's going to be done. I mean, that's just all the way, that's all there is to it. It's going to be done after a round. At this price point, I would expect it to be a little better than that, but it still gets an 8 out of 10. It's not bad. It held up pretty well for the most part, but definitely this is it. I got to toss this. All right, so final thoughts, a lot of you, I hate doing negative reviews because a lot of people really get testy with me. And if that's you right now, if you're in the boat of you love this golf ball and you're upset that I'm not happy with it, you got to remember it's about perspective. I'm not reviewing it from a tour level. If you're a tour level player and you're swinging 115 mile an hour, maybe this golf ball's good for you. I don't know. I'm swinging 97 mile an hour with the driver right now, somewhere around that. And I can't think of a worse golf ball I've tested this year. As far as feel and just overall disappointment, I did test a direct-to-consumer ball that was pretty bad, but I expected it to be bad. I'd never heard of the company before. That's one thing. I love Srixon golf balls. In the past, I have been so supportive of them. I've always told people, oh, they're so underrated, they're clubs, they're everything. I have been a Srixon fanboy. And now I look at the changes to the Q-Star Tour, I look at the changes to this, I don't understand why we changed it. It wasn't broke. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I understand coming out with the Diamond because Brooks Koepka, a seasoned tour player, says, hey, I need something firmer with tour-like feel. So they make the Diamond. Great call. But why did you have to change this? This worked for all of us average Joes. We could, if we were a single-digit handicap, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that range, you could pick up a Z-Star and play it really well and have a good time. Now I'm really worried about the 15, or the XV, whatever you want to call it. I'm afraid it's going to be even firmer. And if that's the case, it's really going to dampen my mood on Srixon, because at this point, what does Srixon do for the average consumer? We have the soft feel, which is a good golf ball. It's not bad. It's your two-piece forgiving high handicapper crowd. We have the Q-Star, which kind of falls in the same way, but it didn't test good for me. It left a lot to the imagination when I tested it. But in the past, the Q-Star Tour, the Z-Star, the Z-Star 15, those were the golf balls that really let me say, hey, Srixon knows what they're doing. Srixon's on a good path. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. They've made some changes, and the changes are not good, and I'm not happy about it. So when you look at it from a point of the green not being as great as I had thought, it had room. I mean, there's, honestly, if I had to put a tagline on this golf ball, I guess it would be room for improvement. Which, if you look at the green performance, room for improvement. If you look at the durability, room for improvement. If you look at the performance, a lot of room for improvement. If you look at, the forgiveness, that's not room for improvement. That's just terrible. I'm just so disappointed. I wanted this golf ball to be good so bad. I really thought, initially I thought the Q-Star Tour could be my gamer, and then it just bombed. And then I thought this could be my gamer, and now it's bombed. And I'm bummed. I hate to be passionate. I hate to hate. I'm not usually the type of guy that just hates on a golf ball but I'm just so disappointed. I had such high expectations, and I've just been so let down. So guys, as always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning for honest reviews. even when I'm disappointed myself. I'll see you next time.